Hello everyone, hello everyone. Whoops, microphone. Sometimes even basic things I'll forget. Okay. Whew. Well, let us get the stream going. Oh man, I am so excited. It's so rare. We get a Wacom tablet, a new one, a new pen display. Let me just ping the people in the Discord and check and open up the chat window and make sure I've got everyone set up here. Oh, Ranger Fade. The second tablet has hit the house. Good one, good one. You know what? I like that so much. I think I'm going to make a little Apu meme or a Pipa meme with that. I like that a lot. A second tablet has hit the house. Actually, today, I think I do have a second tablet hit the house. What was I going to say? I have a couple from eBay that are coming. And so, in fact, I will get 2, maybe 3 tablets today. I'm up to almost 100 tablets now. This may put me over. Dermond, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. It's incredible that I have the Cintiq. Yeah, and you know what? I am surprised. I ordered it just 3 days ago, I think, on the weekend. And I thought it was going to be weeks before I saw the new Cintiq. So I am really, really thrilled here. Don Han, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Adi Salman II, hello, good to see you. Wow, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let me just get set up. And as always, please let me know if audio is working okay. Maybe a little hot, a little too spicy in terms of audio levels. I saw it clipping, getting into the red zone for a second. Hopefully this isn't a good place for you. Continuing my trend of wearing a jacket and a suit, and a shirt and a tie. This is a Giorgio Armani tie, by the way, FYI. And the cologne I'm wearing is Acqua di Gio, so another Armani cologne. Okay, what do we got? Let me ping the Discord and give them the link to the live stream. Tell them I'm online. Now, again, I apologize if this time doesn't work out for everyone. I just wanted to get something going as fast as possible as soon as I got the tablet. The tablet arrived about an hour and a half ago, and the only delay I had was it actually arrived when I was shopping, so I had to finish my shopping, then get home, shave, take a shower, get dressed up, and now I'm ready. You can see the tablet right behind me. So I have not opened it. You're going to see me open it live. Okay, let me get the link to the stream. Okay, I am on camera now. Ping. Oops. That should do it. Okay. Okay, we're there. Now the Discord has got me. And where did my chat disappear to? There we go. Audio's good, Dermont. Thank you so much for confirming. Whew. Anyway, where was I at? Super excited to talk to you today. We tend to go long on these streams. I hope you don't mind. But I think there's a lot to talk about. And yeah, Adi, it is. I am very surprised to have received the tablet. I really expected it to come a week, maybe 2 weeks from now, right? Yes, Ranger Fade. He's pointing out that I ordered it as soon as I saw it. So I didn't even receive a notification. I just was randomly checking the Wacom online store, and just saw it, and I immediately went to buy it. What's on sale right now is the Wacom Cintiq 24 Touch and the Cintiq 24. So of the two, I just got the Touch version. The Cintiq 16 is still not available for order yet. Lexer says, can't wait to hear your opinion on it. I wonder if I should pick up the 22 Pro. Look, I think the 22 Pro is a great deal. It is expensive for a tablet. I think it's what? $3,000. And, this really goes to why I think this new Cintiq line is interesting, because it fills a gap that Wacom has. Now we have something that's modern and is not, in 2000. What did this cost me? I think this cost me $1,500 something. So with tax, like $1,600. I'm not saying it's cheap, but when you see that a Huion Canvas 24 4K Pro is, $1,200? Like it becomes a why not question. Okay, so we'll see. is this Wacom's sneaky move to make you their affiliate? Well, maybe, but just a reminder, I don't use any affiliate links. I don't use any affiliate links. Let's see, Ranger Fate. It is probably the best Cintiq Pro brother of the trio, but it's so fat. Well, we're going to see. I will say, when I picked up the box that you see right there, I'm not going to say it's light, but it's light. It's much lighter than I expected. I expected something heavy, so that's a good sign. Okay, that's a very good sign. Okay, let me get my notes section going because I do need to make sure that I'm taking notes for you all, because the notes will become the basis of the actual review. So let me get to my online notes. And just so you can see what I am doing, I think this is, yeah, you can see there. Okay, so I'm going to add a page. What is today? This is the 6/24, I believe. Yep. So Cintiq Pro 24 Touch 2025 unboxing and testing. So I'll put all the notes there. Adi, it's not available in Canada yet. That surprises me. I can never understand why some of these tablets come at different times. It always confuses me. Dermond, is it fat? I think it's a bit thinner than the previous model. I never had the previous model, so I'm not sure. Judging from the weight, I think it is, it is lighter for sure. I expect thinner. The bezels are smaller. Yeah, definitely not as thin as the moving. Okay, so I'm going to take notes here. So I guess the first note is some just initial reactions. The box is boring looking. I know, I'm kind of a bit critical of Wacom for having boring cardboard box. That's okay, this is their new style. Boring cardboard box. And then it's lighter than I thought. When in box. Okay, let me check. I see we have, okay, got some other questions in the Discord, but not really focused on this topic. Okay, so that's my initial reactions. So this is pre-unboxing, let's say. Okay? Okay, give me a second. Let me move away, get it, and we'll do some unboxing. And then I have a new view for you. Let's hope this works. Hang on. You like this? Right? And let me, this is a new camera I have called the OBSBot Tail 2. Strange name. But it's a PTZ camera, point tilt zoom. I guess it's meant for conference rooms, but I thought it would be more convenient for you to see this over the shoulder view than the straight up overhead view. And I can zoom in and move it around without physically having to leave the chair. Dermond, yeah, I want to see art on the Wacom boxes. I don't want to see just plain cardboard. XP Pen has been doing a great job of this. I've mentioned this many times. And Wacom, I guess they're trying to be environmental, makes sense, but I do miss, let's see. This is the more wide view. We may need to go wide here because it is a big tablet. Okay, let me move this out of the way, the keyboard. And this is the computer. So I'm streaming on the computer you're seeing, which I'm pointing at. This Mac M4 MacBook Pro is actually what I'm going to use the tablet with. And it's a huge Thunderbolt 3 cable to connect it to. And okay, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Again, this is not a light tablet, but the box, you can barely see me now, huh? Let's take a look at this. And maybe I can improve the lighting a little bit. I'll leave it right now. It's a little bit hard. Either it gets lighting is too overblown or it get hard to see. But right now it's a decent balance. Okay, and then how do I know this is so silly looking, right? Here oh, I see. I gotta get these out here. And I'm gonna sneeze just to begin the stream. Or can I stop it? Parker pen. You know, I've never used those pens, so I can't really say. I'm still fuming that we don't get a 16 touch. Yeah, listen. It's a good way for Wacom to distinguish themselves, is to get touch in all their tablets. Because that's something that's still pretty rare on Huion and XP Pen. Huion, though, some of their tablets, that Canvas Pro 19 and 27, do have touch. Gosh, this is harder to move than I anticipated. I gotta be careful here. Okay, this is not the tablet, this is just a box. This is a box with accessories. What do we got in here? We got, looks like a USB-C cable, power stuff, Pro Pen 3, some kind of, oh, this thing. This is that special, it's small. This is the thing that puts the pen on the side of the tablet. You know, this is smaller than I expected. I thought it was going to be bigger, but it's not very big at all. Okay, let me take the pen out. And I don't think I need this cable. I'm going to use my Thunderbolt 3 cable. I just need the power cable. So let me just put these off on the side here. Quick start guide, and let's just take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. And for that, let's get the old overhead. Let's see, what do we got here? Quick start guide. Let me zoom out. Maybe a bit more. Okay, so there's 3 different ways to connect this. USB-C to USB-C, HDMI plus USB-C, and HDMI and USB-C. Oh, you can connect USB-C to USB-C or USB-C to USB-A. So 3 connections. There's no 3-in-1 cable here, okay? So if you need to get this tablet, let me make sure you understand what you need. You'll need either a USB-C port that supports DP alt mode and, of course, data. You don't need to worry about power. Power comes from a separate thing. Or you're going to need an HDMI port and a USB port. HDMI and USB. It can be USB-C or USB-A. If you have a display port, you're going to need an adapter, okay? So, and there's no adapters given for that. And it just shows you what's else in the box, where the power button is. Driver, I probably need to get a new driver. Okay, this is not very big. Nothing too surprising here. The pen shifter, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Look, I'm very skeptical of the pen shifter, but let's see. Let's see. And here's the box contents. You can see, right? In a summary form on the box itself. Oh, and just in case everyone's not clear, the model number is DTH246. You can ignore the K0A. That's some other junk to indicate which region it is, I think. Okay, now, I just want you to see what's going on here. It's going to be dark, so let's see if you can see anything here. Probably not. Let me shift back over here. the tablet is wrapped in a shroud of some sort of cloth. It's not the shroud of Turin, it's the shroud of Wacom. I'm a little scared because I don't want this to drop. Okay, let me get this box out of the way. I think it is lighter than I expected. Okay, and then this. It came with a power brick, yeah. It's, Mihao is telling me it's a little not bright enough. I can change things. I think I have some ability here. Hang on. Let's take a look. Image. Let's see if this helps a little bit. Okay, that's better, right, Mihao? It's probably blowing out the monitors, but at least it's a bit easier for you to see what I am seeing. Okay, get this out of the way. Oh, interesting. So it actually has, can you tell? It has the standard pre-attached, which is really nice. Flashbang out. Okay. So the stand is there. The stand is actually active and attached, which is a nice touch. It makes it a bit awkward to initially get it out of the box, but it's kind of nice because, the last thing you want to do is find a screwdriver. Here it is, Cintiq 24 Touch. Power Engine asks, is it as heavy as the new Pro? It is not. It is not as heavy as the new Pro. It definitely is lighter. It's and I'm just thinking here, I feel like it's even lighter than the Cintiq 22 Pro. Cintiq Pro 22. So far, I am digging this. This feels nice. There's one more little shroud here. I'm going to take off the bottom. Man, I'm really liking this view here. But it is, as Miha pointed out, making me realize I need to probably set up some kind of light here to help with some of the shadows. You can see my challenge, right? Like, this is black. This light here gets blown out, right where my hand is, and the screen gets blown out. So it's tricky to find exactly the right mix. I may get a felt desk mat to make the desk darker. That might actually help in general. Okay. This is interesting. This may just be me, may just be the initial setup. Okay, I'm going to show it to you like this. This is the out-of-the-box configuration. I'm just going to push with my finger, okay? Watch. Now, what that is telling me is that you can get the stand in such a way that it's not fully supporting the tablet. Like it can tip over like that. You don't want it to tip over. Now, I'm not saying this is a bug in the stand design, only that out of the box, it's configured this way. So the first question is, how the heck do I can change this? Now, there's this little thing here at the bottom. I don't know what the heck. Oh, I think this little lever. Sorry, you can barely see this lever here. It controls the amount of angle. It's unusual because most of the time these levers are kind of on top, right? Be careful. Look how look. Do you see this? How closely it went to tilting. So you got it now. Oh, I see. So once you get out of the box, you're going to have to hit that little lever and get it out to its next position. The next position is solid. It's not going to tilt over. I'm pressing the tablet. Okay. You know what, Ranger Fade? I get your point. It actually doesn't feel like a 24-inch. It really doesn't. I don't know why. It does not feel like a 24-inch tablet. Arfidale says, is it upside down? No, it is the correct, it is correctly, well, okay, no. Maybe I'm wrong. It's actually not easy to tell. It's upside down? Ha ha! Don't I feel stupid? Okay, you can ignore what I said earlier. Anyway, it's not obvious which is the correct, yeah, you were right, Arfidale. I'm going to let me put his comment up there. You're correct. You deserve the credit for this. How embarrassing. But hey, it's not obvious. It's a black rectangle. It's this monolith. It's not clear which side it's supposed to go. The only reason, the only indication is this little, what is this, Energy Star sticker or something. And the buttons are supposed to be on the lower right. Okay, and everyone's laughing at me in chat. They're just like laughing. But let's take a look at the comment. Don't poke the tablet, Miha says. Thank you, Power Engine, for informing me that it is upside down. Nizio/Martin, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't crack the screen, Dermont. Everyone's just laughing at me in chat. It's so sleek. It's difficult to know if it's upside down. Yeah, it's true. It's hard to tell. And by the way, if you look at the tablet, I know you can't see it because it's all blood. There's no indication here or anywhere of the word Wacom. The word Wacom just isn't anywhere. Okay? Okay, now let me see if it's easy to change the button. Can I feel the button? Where's the button? Oh, there we go. Look, my hands are probably average for my height. I'm 6 feet tall. It's probably just on the verge of being a little difficult to reach. I wish that little button was a little higher on the stand. So let's go. Maybe we can one-to-one because it doesn't really look at 24. I'll bring a 24 over. We'll take a look. I can tell you this. I just had a XP Pen Artist Pro 24 Gen 2. That definitely is bigger. That has also very big bezels. Rock says, did you get the $100 HDMI cable? Well, later on we discovered that was kind of a temporary thing on Wacom. Their site changed it to, I think, $30. Range of fit. I'm 6 feet tall, Americans, man. I am 6 feet tall. Can we get a size comparison? Eric Lara asks with 16 or 19. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll bring over 16 and 19 and we'll take a look. Okay. Let me try it again here. Let me just show you the angles that you can get. This requires a little more force than you expect. This is about the lowest angle. Let me show you. Right, so. Right. I don't know. I don't have a angle measuring tool, so I can't say exactly. Now, one thing is you'll notice that they're actually little at the bottom. They're little rubber feet. So when you have it at any angle, it doesn't, the very bottom sitting on those feet, it doesn't hit the edge. Now let's see if I can move this up. Deramon, does it have those grip keys as the Pro version, or it doesn't have any express keys? There are no, keys here. There are some buttons here, but as far as I can tell, there aren't the keys that we're used to with the other Cintiq Pros. They're just the normal, there's some buttons. There's 2 buttons here. And, okay, let me bring this up. Let's see how easy it is. Yeah, this is a little hard to reach, to be completely honest. Okay, and how high will it go? And by the way, let's all forget that I started using this tablet upside down. Let's not mention that to Wacom. Let's conveniently forget that I did not realize. This is as tall as it'll get. So I would guess this is, if I had to eyeball it, I would guess it's like 75 degrees maybe from the table. What do you think about this compared to the Pro stand? Pro stand has a little bit of wobble. I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's a lot, but it has a little bit. This is solid. I mean, like, the only movement you'll get when you press this thing is you're gonna move the tablet back. It's not gonna wobble. You have to try to do something with a lot of force to make it wobble. Looks clean. Looks very clean. You know what? I'm gonna get a light. Let me come right back because I think I need to show you things that require a little bit more light. So I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back and I got some portable lights just to help me show you, because otherwise it's getting really dark here. It looks like nice and warm. Okay, so this light actually looks really nice at this color. It makes it look quite interesting. It's very nice. This is the only evidence, which you can barely see without this light. It's just, what do you call it? Not embossed. What's the opposite of? It's embedded in there, the phrase Cintiq 24. I'm not even sure I see the word Wacom anywhere here. Here are those little feet, right, in the corners. The cables, there are ports here, okay? There's 3 ports here. And let's see, there's no other ports on the side. There's just these 3. Anything else? Let me move it over. I love the look of this. Feels solid, by the way. This feels very solid. It looks better in front of me than the videos Wacom published. There are no logos anywhere. I know you can't see. You're probably wondering, by the way, about what you see with the light here is very different from what I see. To you, it's blown out. That's an artifact of the camera. I would say it's got good light dispersion. Not as much as you see in like the latest Huyons, but that also means it's probably got a little bit of a sharper pixels. Let's take a look at Ranger Fate says, I'm sending the stream to Nobutaka-san in a formal email. I guess you mean Nobu Ide, the CEO and president of Wacom. I would love to do an interview of Nobu, by the way. So whoever handles his calendar in the Wacom team, I think you should have me talk to him. Let's take a look at the chat again. Anything else? Eddie Alvarez is talking about jump scare prices. I think you're talking about the Cintiq Pros. Oh, Dermond. Dear, this is funny. Dear Nobu-san, my Cintiq came upside down. Please fix. Okay, let's... This is a little finicky. I'm not going to lie, this little button, because it's hard to tell where the button is. You have to search around. And it's sturdy, but that also means it takes some effort to use. Okay. I'm going to go like this. Hey, how about we plug it in and use it, huh? Is that okay? Let me move this camera out of the way and take a look. Everyone's making fun of me in the Discord too. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just turn on my MacBook and just set it up, and then we'll start using this thing. It's so rare we get a chance to have a there, and then Google. I think I have Clip Studio installed. Okay, what do I need to do? Hang on. I need to just double check a few things. Let's just clean up things. Okay, and yeah, I think I have Clip Studio installed. Now, where's my power cable? So the power cable is like this. It's the adapter does not use a proprietary power adapter thing. It's actually USB-C that goes into the monitor or to the pen display. And then just one of these cables that actually goes into the wall. So I'm going to connect it. And I've got the power strip right on my desk, which I'm sure, hopefully it's not going to fall. Let me go back here now and try to figure out which one of these things do I connect the power to. It's not obvious, I'll tell you that. That's nice. They're not labeled which one has power. So believe it or not, I'm going to have to look at the quick start guide if I can find it. A little labeling would have helped. Basically, there are three ports here: USB-C, mini HDMI, USB-C. Sorry. And they're not labeled. Oh, wait a second. I see now. There's a very tiny little. You might be able to see a little dot. Let me put it this way. There's just a tiny little dot there. That's power. Okay, so I think I've solved my problem. They could have made that a little more obvious. Shoot. I have to be honest, I'm having trouble just getting it in there because my fingers are a little too big for this. Okay, so it's connected, so that's power. And then I have a Thunderbolt cable. That's what I'm going to use to connect to the MacBook Pro. Okay. Okay, so it's connected correctly. Sorry for all this is so classic, all these wires everywhere. Let's take a look at the comments. The only thing you can get, Mihao says, the only thing you can get is a hit squad for Wacom Pepe. Wacom Pro Max. Yeah, Strunge, I'll bring the Cintiq Pro 22 and we'll take a look. Oh, Ranger Fade, that's a good question. They didn't say that in the documentation, but I'll try. I actually have another just power cable. It's actually for the Canvas Pro 19, with a USB-C cable. I'll try it actually. And I'm wondering if this Cintiq works with Wacom Link. Roke says that came with the older Cintiq Pro 13 and 16. I don't think I have that thing. Ben Boykma's Hobby Channel just woke up. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. We are not too far along in the stream. We just got this thing plugged in, and now I'm going to carefully rotate. I think you'll like this stand. It's like, by the way, as far as I can tell, it's all metal. It feels pro. It definitely feels pro. Okay, now I'm going to decrease the height a little bit. Alejandro Chavez says, do you know when the 16-inch model will go on sale? Congratulations on your channel. Thank you so much, Alejandro. We think it's going to be before the end of the month. Because I think I saw a date somewhere that said that. However, it's not totally clear right now. Because I expected it to go on sale already. And I don't know if there are any regions where it is on sale now. Okay, now I got to figure out how to turn it on. There's two buttons here, and I don't know what does what. So I'm just going to try the lower button. Okay, the lower button turns it on. And it's connected to this laptop. No signal. Allow accessory to connect. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. I'm old, so I'm going to have to take off my glasses to take a look at this, okay? And I'm going to look stupid when I do this. I'm looking as close as I can. Because this is not a 4K display. This is a, what do you call it? 2560 by 1600, something like that. WQHD or something. I think for most people, you'd have trouble telling this wasn't 4K. But if you're one of those people who's really picky about 4K, you might notice it. But for me, I think this is a perfect resolution. I think it's a fine one. Where do my glasses go? And let's see. Hang on. I don't know where I put the gear shifter. Oh, here it is. There's a little, here you can't see it. There's a little slot right here. This is way smaller than I thought, by the way. Here's the pen. Pro Pen 3. And which Pro Pen 3 is it? Hey, there's no piece of metal in here. It's probably in one of the accessory boxes. Or maybe it doesn't come with metal. So this is, I can't tell if this is plastic or metal. You slide it in. It's, there's a little bit of wobble there. And this does rotate. So let's put it in. What the hell? It goes in like this. Tip first. And yeah, this is, okay, let me try to explain this to you. So it clicks. If you put it here, it's just gonna fall right out. If you put it like parallel to the ground, it slips right out. So it's not like locked in there. If you click it over to 5th gear or whatever, it kind of, can you see it wobble a little bit? Now, here's the deal. If you move it this way, if you hit it, it'll either rotate or knock out. Okay? You see that? If you go lateral, you can feel the stress on this thing. So if you go this way or this way, it is going to break. I guarantee you're going to damage the pen, or you're going to damage this or something. So not really. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's weird. It will cause a car crash. Yeah. Okay, so are you ready to draw? Right. Okay, so let me just let me downshift it into first gear. Okay, and then we'll go there. By the way, I don't know how to drive an automatic. Oh, sorry, I don't know how to drive a manual. Jane Baxter says, crank that Wacom. It's Meow says that looks so shitty. Well, look, I'll just say what I said when I live streamed the announcement of this tablet. Any manufacturer, any company that makes a product can spend time, brain power, people hours on doing things and innovating. I don't know how much time and money and effort and design thinking went into this, but I'd really rather they focused on other things. I don't need, let me put my face on because let me take this out. I don't need them to innovate on pen holders that attach the tablet. There are simpler solutions to this that are actually more elegant and safer. This is not a good use of time. It's clever, it's too clever. Too clever by half is how we'd say, right? Thank you, Lexer, I do appreciate that comment. The only analog that thing is horror. Yeah, okay. So I love Wacom, guys, I love Wacom, but they just don't need to innovate on pen holders, okay? Let's see, JH, it's not taken the wrong way. I didn't expect someone who reviews tablets to look like an investment banker at a bank. I do this just because it makes it a little more entertaining for me. Maybe I differentiate myself a little bit. I don't see any nibs in here. I mean, I take a look here. There's no nibs. Maybe in the accessory box. I'll take a look a bit later. Range of Fate, are you saying there are 2 nibs? Oh yeah, when I was wearing the brown suit, yeah. I thought one of my peaks was the white jacket with the pink shirt though. Jaffo says they need to make a pill holder like they have for the Pro Pen Slim. Yeah. The nibs might be in the shifter. Hey, let's take a look. Is this a cap? Can I unscrew it? Oh, it is. Wait, no, it turns, but it's not. I feel like this does not open up or anything. A pipe? It doesn't stay on well enough to be used as a pipe. Who smoked a pipe in World War II? Was that the Douglas MacArthur? Doesn't work well. Okay. Felt and standard Ranger Fade. Yeah, they should get a few more nibs. Okay, let me put this down a little bit. So before I begin the testing, let me just be clear on something. The expectation is this drawing experience will be excellent, okay? Just excellent. Someone screen capped me putting the pipe in. For anyone who doesn't know, okay, because I should make sure people see this. Hang on, because people may not know who I'm showing. Give me a second. Douglas MacArthur. Fives. Yeah. So this will help clarify who I'm. Oh, come on. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah, that's who I was going for. Okay, Douglas MacArthur, who I believe was a general who commanded a bunch of soldiers in World War II in the Pacific Theater. Kay asks, how smooth is the screen texture? Similar to Gen 3 Huions or super smooth like Move Ink? Let me just take the pen and just give you subjective. It's not smooth like the Move Ink. There's more texture. There's definitely more texture. You can feel the texture through the nib, right? I can't right now say it's more or less than a Huion Canvas 19. It's on par. It's very similar, I would say. A Popeye pipe. It's a corn cob pipe, right? That's what it is. Okay, so that was who I was pretending to be for a second. Okay, the text here is too small on the screen. I mean, because it's using such a high resolution. So what I'm going to do is just go to the Mac, and I'm going to actually, I want to do one more thing else. Okay, that's what you see on the Mac. What I'm going to do is, you're going to see this camera, and you're also going to see screen capture at the same time. Okay, so let me just set that up. I'm going to duplicate this with the capture. That takes me a minute. Displays, I want this to mirror the, let me change the resolution here to be okay, it's a bit better. Then I'm going to mirror this thing. Oh, okay, that didn't quite do what I wanted to do. Try this again. Okay, so now you're seeing me draw here through the camera. Let me, I'm gonna go zoom in a little bit, okay? And we'll try a bunch of things. I may need to install a new Wacom driver, by the way. It can detect the pen, but I haven't tried touch. Let's see if this zooms in in the way I want to. It's not, there we go. There's some zooming in. Probably I need to move the camera a little bit to the right. Oops. There we go, and a little bit up. There we go. So you can see a little bit more. Now, let's see if I can just, yeah, okay, so you should see, this is almost what I want, but I need to get rid of this thing here. And yeah, the mouse is in the right place. Now I'm gonna make, okay, so it looks like the mouse is now moving the right place. Everyone see what I'm trying to do here? Okay. Because sometimes I want you to see my hand move, but I also want you to see what strokes are being done here, okay? So let me go back to my face. And I'm gonna launch Krita. And we're gonna try some things out. Hey, thanks for joining us, Miha. I appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, let's create a new image here. And I'm going to move Krita over to, how do I move Krita over to, okay, Krita's here. Okay, see? I'm going to start here just to let you know what's happening. You can't see the brush. Let me find a better brush. Maybe a bigger one. So far, things work. There's a little bit of anomaly here. It's not picking up this change. This click is sort of working. Now it's picking up the size. Okay. Why is it not, something's not quite right, actually. Let me tell you what's going on here. I am pressing down with enough force to register pressure. Nothing's getting drawn. I'm pressing down quite a bit harder, and now you can see it. Okay, so something's a bit off here in terms of initial activation force. Is it the pen, or is it something else? And that's a good question. Fortunately, I have another Pro Pen 3 here. It's not the pen, because the same problem happens here. Now, don't panic. I don't think there's something wrong with the tablet. It may just be a driver, an old driver. Now, Nizio/Martin says, could you test Wacom pens like the Grip Pen and Pro Pen 2 and Pro Pen 1? I don't have a Pro Pen 1, I think, but I have a Pro Pen 2. Same problem. Same problem. Could be my brush, so just in case, let's just try going to the brush settings, resetting the brush, because you know sometimes changing the brush affects things. No, it's not the brush. Every pen I'm using has it. Let's go test Clip Studio Paint. Again, let's not panic or anything. It just could be a driver problem, right? And let me, give me a second here, set things up. Okay. Where am I? No, this one, okay. I actually was not able to draw then. What is going on here? What is going on here? I'm actually not able to draw at all. Something is off. Something is off. Let's take a look at the Wacom Center and see if there's a driver update. Okay. And we can try, you know, on another machine as well, but it should work. Let's see. Wacom Center, just so everyone understands what's happening here. Wacom Center says connect the device to see its settings. So that's interesting. Because it is connected. That's unusual. Let me just go ahead and disconnect and reconnect. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, we're going to go to do a little troubleshooting. We're going to go to Wacom and take a look at the latest drivers. Wacom drivers. And take a look what's going on. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to the Wacom website and looking for drivers. There is a driver that was released for Windows on June the 4th, a Mac OS one. I'm gonna go ahead and just download it because I don't think I've installed a latest driver in a while. So maybe that's the reason. And yes, I'll restart the Mac as well. So I'm just installing the Wacom driver. What in the world is it doing? Continue. It's installing. Sorry, it's just boring driver installation stuff. Nothing really crazy is going on right now. And I'll reboot the Mac once I get it installed. Let's see. The driver that was up didn't show me there was any available driver updates. So it says driver was successfully installed. And let's go ahead and just reboot the Mac, okay? So I'm going to, since it's going to relog in and everything, I'm going to just turn it off and then restart the Mac. There we go. Yes. Try again. Every app is trying to say, I want to save what I drew. Okay. Yes, try again, please. Wacom Cintiq is preventing me from restarting. Let's try again. Okay, now it's restarting. Satyaki says, sometimes restarting the Wacom service in Windows helps. Okay, yeah, though I've very rarely needed to do that. In fact, I don't think I've done it in years. Okay, let me log in. And get back here. We'll start, we'll just go to Wacom Center first, okay? And this time I'll show you exactly what I'm seeing. Okay, this is good news. Now it realizes the tablet's there. That's the starting point. So let's just take a look at what we got here. Let me just show you a different way here. Yeah. These menu items here, it says touch gesture, display. Oh, by the way, it's sensing touch right now. This is interesting. So I'll click here. Touch gestures and display settings are duplicated. Display toggle. Let's see if it works. Touch gestures. Okay, so touch is happening. Touch is enabled. I think the second button here, the one on top, is touch. Oh, that's the OSD. And let's click that. Okay, you can turn touch on and off that way too. Display settings, display toggle, whatever. Okay, good sign, good sign. Let's get Clip Studio Paint. Yeah, oddness right now looks like it's, oops, where's the, it looks like the problem is just the driver. J8 says we're regularly selling 77-inch OLED TVs for like $2,000. Is that how much OLEDs have come down in price? That is crazy. A studio was replacing their fleet. I found it by sold on. Okay, you found, okay. So they're getting rid of some of the things there. Let's take a look here. Let's draw. Okay, now things are correct. Now things are correct. Now light strokes, the slightest touch is working. And let me get rid of this comment. It's hiding my drawing. The very lightest stroke. I mean, in fact, you can't tell how light it is because the brush is not even big enough. I'm basically letting the pen dangle from my hand. I'm actually pulling away from the tablet, and it's still drawing. So things are working perfectly. Pressure is fantastic, right? Very nice. Touch works, as you can see. This is good. This is good. In fact, because I do like the size, if I may actually incorporate this into some of my streams when I'm drawing something like a whiteboard, because it's convenient. Now, what about accidental touches? It's interesting. Let me delete this. I'm trying to accidentally touch it. I'm touching it with this part of my hand. It's not triggering anything, which is interesting. Now, what happened there? It's relatively good at this, knowing my hand is there, and I'm not trying to touch it. But when I try to touch it with a finger, it's there. What about rotation? Pretty smooth, actually. I would say Windows is probably still better, but this is working decently well. So again, Windows has more built-in support for drawing, hand gestures. But this is not bad, right? At least within this application. So that's good. Okay, let's go do some testing now. Let's see. Open Rebel and do some finger painting. Yeah, I think I have Rebel, actually. Reminder that Rebel 8 is being released later this year. And then let's see. Is it doing something? It actually feels, actually this is better. Rebel handles the touch way more smooth than Clip. Way more smooth. Let's try drawing something though. I love Rebel's brush engine, by the way. It's very nice. I'm going to use Rebel to look at lag. Lag was good on Clip Studio. It's good here. No problems, right? Jane asks about anti-glare sparkle. Well, there's nothing unique about finger painting, but you ask a generic question, which is good. How is anti-glare sparkle? And I'm gonna have to put my head down and take a look, okay? Or just lift it up. This is heavy to hold like this. Okay. It's very, very low anti-glare sparkle. Very low. The pixels are good. I mean, Mac OS in general doesn't do as well with, I think, this kind of intermediate resolution. But everything looks good, and the pixels are crisp. They're not, at least right now, I don't see that they're slightly sharp. That would be easier to tell with a Windows machine. Satyaki asks, are you using the Pro Pen 2? I was drawing with a Pro Pen 3, but I'll try it with a Pro Pen 2 right now. Let me use a different brush. Yeah, it works just as good. Just as good with the Pro Pen 3. Sorry, 2. I still think the Pro Pen 2 is a good pen. Now, one thing I wanted to test here is pen compatibility with other pens. So give me a sec. I'll get a few more pens. Specifically, the Intuos Pro 2025 is compatible with the Samsung S Pen, these UD-EMR pens. I'm gonna get a few of those. They never said this was gonna be compatible, but let's just check anyway, okay? So I'll be right back. 1 second. I'm back. I got grip pen, I've got the Art Pen, and I've got the S Pen, Samsung S Pen. Let's take a look. And let me, how do let me do this in Clip Studio, since I'm a little more familiar with Clip Studio than Rebel, to be quite honest. Okay. Let me zoom in. I like this zooming in. Okay. Art Pen. Works great. Feels good. Feels good. Grip Pen. Works great. Now, they never said this was going to work, but I'm going to test it anyway. S Pen. No. Okay, this is a disappointment. This is a disappointment. The Intuos Pro 2025 works with the S Pen and this Wacom CP913 pen. All these UD-MR pens. They have deliberately made this not work with this pen again. That's a negative. This the mark that you just saw was my finger that caused it, not the pen. Disappointment here. Disappointment. Okay, so basically we have standard Wacom backwards compatibility. Okay. Now what about what do you call it? Tilt. Okay, accuracy. Let me test accuracy. Now, you can't see it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the pointer and I'm just going to see how accurate it is. And I know you won't be able to see it as clearly as I do, so I'll just walk through what I'm experiencing here. It is pretty accurate, even to the very corner here. Pretty accurate even to the right edge. Very accurate here. It's off by maybe a millimeter at most. It's very accurate throughout the entire center of the screen, throughout the middle of the screen. Okay, this is basically the pen straight up, mostly straight up and down, not quite. Accurate here. Accurate here. At the edges, there's always a little bit of like 1 or 2 millimeters off, which is standard. Yeah, it's like one, yeah. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty standard for a Wacom pen. Ranger Fade says S Pen, more like ass pen. You guys. Let us try So that was with the pen mostly straight up and down. Now we got to test tilt compensation. So again, I know you can't see it as well. It might be easier actually if I don't test it on clip, but instead test it on the desktop. Let me close these things. Okay. If I tilt in the center, tilt compensation, as it is with Wacom in general, is extremely good. The cursor doesn't, it stays very locked in to where the tip of the pen is. So that's good, great. What about on the sides? Anything weird? Nope. Corner, top. Now the pen's moving around because the pointer's moving around because my pen's moving around. But there's only the slightest of displacement. You probably wouldn't even need to calibrate this device. Yeah, the pointer is pretty much locked in to where it is at. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. Super happy. So let me write down some of these thoughts. First of all, AG sparkle was very low. Why is it not? Okay, sparkle is low, so that's good, very good actually. Keyboard is acting up, very good. Tilt compensation, excellent in all areas. Accuracy, excellent in all areas. How's 60 hertz feel, Strongy? It feels fine actually. I'm not super sensitive to refresh rates, so to me 60 hertz is perfect. I don't have any problems with it at all. I don't notice any flicker or anything like that. CJ Ed says the cheapest OLED monitor you can get at the moment is 280 hertz. 1440p, 27-inch from Gigabyte, $500. Yeah, again, I'm just amazed that OLEDs get that cheap. Bezels, no, I'm not missing the bezels, Jane Backstreet. I think I don't even notice it, honestly. And I think the reason, especially, I don't notice it is, let me go back to clip for a second. Wherever clip is. Clip. Let me try to explain. Realistically, oh, I started clip on the wrong computer. Silly me. Let me get there we go. Realistically, like I'm trying to select something here. Yes, you'll probably notice that with my hand, when I'm touching things like here, this part of my hand is what's resting at the very edge. It's not a sharp edge. It's not as uncomfortable as the Intuos Pro 2025. Would a larger bezel help? I think some people do like really large bezels, but I don't miss them here. It's not a big deal for me. Because again, most of the time you're drawing more in this area, so effectively this glass is a bezel, right? Because you're just resting on the glass itself. So not a big deal. At least for me. I don't need it's about 1/2 inch in terms of bezel width all around. Okay, we want to do another test. I'm gonna get some paper here. There's no staple. Okay, that's good. I need no staple for this test. I'm going to do this in Clip Studio Paint. I'm going to just draw some 45-degree diagonal lines. Let's see what we got here. I need a smaller brush, actually, for this. Let's see. I'm going to do a small 5-pixel brush. You can see me draw. Right? Okay. Delete. And move this over. And get this keyboard out of the way. Let's try drawing. So I'll draw a slow stroke. Oh, I need to change the color to black, of course. Slow stroke at 45 degrees, very slow. This is slower than my normal slow test. Let's try another one. And remember, this paper is not perfectly smooth, so. But we're not looking for any roughness, we're looking for wobble. Okay, let's zoom in. Let me tell you what I see. Pretty good, pretty good. There is some little movement here, but that, I think that's the paper, not the wobble. Overall, seems pretty good. I mean, pretty standard for Wacom. Like you see this little movement here, I believe. We'll test with another ruler. Give me a second. Okay, got a little plastic. Can't find my normal ruler, but I got another smooth plastic ruler. Jane says they got to make them detachable bezels like the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. That would be interesting, actually. But I'd just be afraid they wouldn't be sturdy enough on these tablets. Okay, let's go back here and just try drawing. Yeah, you have to be careful with EMR, chain backseat. Magnets can interfere quite a bit, actually. Okay, so I'm going to delete these strokes. I'm going to draw roughly a 45 degree. Is that right? That's about right, okay. Slow stroke. That's excellent. That's excellent. Okay, let's try another stroke. A little faster. Excellent. And I'll do another really fast stroke. I'm gonna change brushes. Hang on. Oh, something happened there, which I can't figure out. Let me tell you what happened. You notice I'm not drawing right here? suddenly the mapping changed to this thing, this other monitor, the MacBook to my left. And that's because probably I have that setting turned on, which is called display toggle. So let me turn that off. Display toggle. I just Pro Pen 3, pan scroll, right click. I don't know why it toggled, but it's now on the other screen. Did my touching do it? It's a bit weird. Okay, let's just see if this... Oh, this is confusing me, actually. I don't know why. You can't see it. My mouse pointer moved over to my MacBook. And I'm just trying to get it back to the... So strange. How do I get it back? There's no mapping tab. With the Intuos Pro, there's a mapping tab here. But here, there's just display toggle. That's okay. I got to figure this out. Let me, in the pen settings, Aaron. Let me delete this setting for Clip Studio. Shoot. Yeah. Just so it's not confusing. Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably a pen button I hit. Let me try clicking a button. Bottom button. Didn't change anything. Middle button. Top button. Okay, that didn't change anything. Let me change the top button to display toggle. Navigation, I think. Not that. Other. Tablet, display toggle. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it's back. Don't know what caused it to switch, and I'm going to disable this button because I don't really want display toggle. I just want it back on the screen. I'll try to keep a watch out for what caused that. It's weird. Okay, let's get back here. Fast stroke looks great. Let me do a slow stroke again. Add more of a correct 45 degrees angle. And again, looks really good. This is Cintiq Pro quality. And this is what I expected. I expect that the drawing experience of these tablets is going to be extremely good. So let's make a note there. So, what do you call this? Diagonal wobble. Excellent. Very low at all speeds. And then I'll just put a note. Pointer switched to different display for unknown reason. Don't know if it was me. Don't know if I clicked on something. It happened. Keyboard is acting up. Okay, what else should I test here? A couple of people had questions on size. Okay, so let me talk about that for a second. No, but these lines are from a ruler, right? And there was no stabilization. Let's clear this. I'm just going to sketch a little bit just to see. Oops. You see these little marks that appeared, that suddenly appeared? That's where the pen and touch are activating at the same time. It can sometimes happen. Let's clear the thing. I'm going to disable touch by getting to the top button on the right. That's why you can't see this. You didn't see what happened, but maybe it'll happen again. I'm just going to sketch around a little bit, okay? T-Dog Weather Wax. The wobble's very good here, and the wobble is very good with the Huion Canvas Pro 19, Canvas Pro 27, and the Canvas 13 Gen 3. The Canvas 16 Gen 3 has a little bit of diagonal wobble at slow strokes. So this is better than that. But other than that, it's as good as the Canvas Pro 19 or 27. So just one of Huion's new Canvas models has a bit of weakness. This is good. This is, here, I'll draw a peepo or something here. I'm just drawing to see if there's any lag. Hey, that's not bad. I'm getting good at drawing these frogs. Did you like the stream thumbnail? It had a little frog that was with a, what do you call it? Not a mic. It's a microscope? No. Looking at a tablet. So lag is pretty standard for a pen display. Probably a little, just a tiny bit less than you'd get with other pen displays. So nothing special, but you know, pretty good. Good for a pen display. I do wish pen displays had less lag. Okay, I'm gonna go get another tablet and we're gonna talk about sizes, okay? Let me get the Cintiq Pro 22. It's going to be hard to see for you, but let's see what it's going to feel like, okay? Now, in order to do this, I need to move things around. Oops. Let's move some of these pens away. Actually, I'll start with a smaller tablet, then we'll take a look at the bigger tablets. So I'll be right. Here. Okay, I am back and my audio disconnected. So let me just reconnect here, get my Bluetooth back here. Or did I? Okay, come on. I clicked the wrong Bluetooth device to connect to. Okay. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. So here's the Canvas Pro 19. And for this, okay, I'm just going to put this in front of it. It's going to be a little tricky with the focus of the camera. But I think what you see on the screen is pretty representative. I've always felt the Canvas Pro 19, which is obviously a 19-inch pen display, feels closer to a 16-inch pen display. And I can really feel that now, right? 16-inch pen display should be right about here, where the screen end should be right about here. And there's a noticeable size difference here. Now, someone earlier in the chat said, this seems smaller than a 24. Now, it is 24, obviously. So let's try comparing it to the Cintiq Pro 22. So give me a second, I'll bring that back. Okay, now this is going to be really hard to see, so I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit, okay? Give me a second as I find out where this app is. Where's my zoom? Since they're a little bit... Now it's misleading, the angle here, okay? It's very misleading because the Cintiq 22 is so much closer to you in the camera than it is in reality. So it's giving you the sense that it's so much bigger. Clear some of this dust away. Can I put this next to it somehow? This is difficult because it's on this stand, but I can get it down. Okay. It's hard to see. You can probably see where the display is versus the bezels. This thing physically, these two look physically very similar. Like the width of the bezels, the rounded corners. Of course, this thing has these buttons down here. For some reason, whoever said it, I think they're right. This 24-inch pen display doesn't feel crazy big. It's probably like 23.5 inches. So 23.5 inches is like this much more compared to a 22-inch, right? So like, I'm starting to think right now, I've for a long time believed that I wouldn't really be able to use a 24-inch. Like I wouldn't enjoy it. But right now I think this would work for me as a daily driver drawing tablet, honestly. Now, of course, this is 4K, this is WQHD, but I think this would work. I think this would actually work quite well. Let's take a look at the comments. Free giveaway, Aaron? I'm not sure about that. I picked up a WH1409. I hope you like it. I hope you like it. Let's see. Let's see. Nick says, hello. Good to see you, Nick. Thanks for joining us. Is it top model of the new non-Pro series with the Pro Pen 3? How is it? I can't hear curses nor screams of joy. Okay, probably I haven't been as vocal about this. I'm really liking it. Let me just say that. I'm really liking it. I think those of you who are 4K snobs, meaning you really want high resolution, that's probably going to be the only thing where you will feel somewhat limited by this tablet. Because you're going to notice that the resolution isn't quite 4K. It's going to be clear. Now, I think Mac OS doesn't scale the same as Windows, so that shows up probably a little bit more with Mac OS, unless you use a tool like Better Display. But besides that, this is as good as any other Cintiq Pro. Now, is it missing some things? Yeah, like it doesn't have, I think, some of these color modes that Cintiq Pro would have, like DCI-P3 or those kind of things. But it's got some advantages. I'll tell you one of the advantages. Let me move this out of the way. Oof. Okay, this is so big. Let me just pause for a second, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so what I was going to say is this actually has some advantages over the Cintiq Pro. Let me tell you what they are. Number one, it is lighter. It is not a light tablet, but it's lighter, it's easier to move. That's something I really liked about certain tablets, is that like you can actually, and it's easy to move on the desk. So for example, let me show you this, watch this. I can just do this, right? Like some tablets are actually hard to do that with, right? Now don't get me wrong, it's not like it's unstable or anything. It doesn't wobble. It's just not like glued to the desk like some stands make it out. So this is good. This is a fantastic movability, right? So you can keep it away from you and draw it close. That's harder with the Cintiq, especially with the Cintiq Pros with that really heavy, expensive stand, okay? Number two, and I'm gonna take out my earbuds for this. It'll be obvious why. It's completely silent. The only noise in my room is the air conditioner. This thing is completely silent, okay? Number three. Now, we gotta go into the display settings here for you to see this, okay? And where's the settings? Display settings. Let me make sure you can see this. Let me move my face out of the way. It'll be a little bit easier. I think this should show up on the screen. I'm not totally sure. Where am I? Okay. You can't see it, but the OSD is right here. But it's a little bit hard to see in the current view. Maybe this way is a bit easier. I'm going to change the brightness to 100%. Okay? So far, by the way, this tablet has been completely cool. And it was set to like, I don't know, 50 or 60% brightness, okay? Let me change the camera so it's not quite as blown out. Give me a sec. That is really blown out. Oh, the ISO is probably what I need to do here. Okay, that's a little better for you to see anyway. So, it was set about 50%. This feels like my desk, okay? Meaning, I can't tell the difference between that and the wood of my desk. So it's room temperature. I'll leave it at 100% brightness, just to make sure you see it. It's right here. The bar is all the way at 100%. I don't notice any initial heating up at all. So that's another thing that I think Wacom should be, where this is better than the Cintiq Pro. The heat management seems to be very good, okay? So let me just take a few notes and write this down because this is important. A few notes. Number one is size. Feels close in size to the Cintiq Pro 22. Let's see, noise, none. Right? Fans, none. And that's why we have no noise. What about heat? So at 50% for, I think we've been using it for an hour, let's say. Room temperature. Feels like my wooden desk. Okay, and at 100%, I just started, so this is TBD, but I don't notice any hot spots even now. Even at 50%, it was bright enough for me, to be quite honest. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so T-Dog WeatherMax, it's not getting warm, even 100%, but again, it's only been about 5 minutes, so I'll keep checking. And yeah, Aaron, the price point's good. This is what, $1,500? This is very good. This is competitive. I think I'll talk about this more later in the stream. Wacom is back in the game, okay? They're back in the game. I think lots of people are put off by the $2,500 price point of these Cintiq Pros. This gives you all of the drawing quality and has some better features. No noise, better heat management. So feeling pretty good about that. Yeah, the resolution is not quite as good, but like it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's see, Grey Gunner says, I do like it, especially compared to what I had, the Wacom 202 serial. Oh, wow, yeah. I actually am going to try using a serial tablet sometime this year. Charlie Tonight says, in euros, it's 1,800. So it's a little expensive in Europe. So you can use it as a hella expensive in 204 XL. Yeah, that should work. In fact, if I just connected this with a normal USB to USB-A cable, one that didn't have DisplayPort alt mode, then it should just work like a normal tablet. Though I can't test that right now. In macOS, is there a way to tell macOS not to use a display? Let me take a look. We'll try. I want to try this. This general display. How about I do that later? Because I'm afraid like it's gonna mess up the mapping and things. I'll try that later. You have a free one in a box, one of the serial ones, Grey Gunner. And Charlie Tonight says it's high. Okay, okay. Aaron says Wacom drivers are much better than competitors, in my opinion. They're very stable. They're very stable. I would say, I would actually get this the edge to Sense Labs. Actually, I think their drivers have been very reliable, and they have a few more features. The Wacom drivers have become, they're reliable, but like their UI gets a little complicated sometimes. Like the Wacom tablet properties app is pretty complicated. The Wacom Center is starting to get pretty complicated, and it's more complicated now because some tablets, the features are in Wacom Center, like the newer ones, but in some tablets, the features are in the Wacom tablet properties, and many of them have a mix, right? Let's see. T-Dog WeatherMax says, mini HDMI is a bummer. Conversion to normal a DisplayPort is kind of stupid, but possible. Yeah, I'm not sure why they picked mini HDMI. Maybe to make the tablet a bit flatter, but no one uses it. So like you have to get one of their cables, right? So, you know, I'm not super upset about it. It's just a weird thing. Greg Gunner says, yeah, the one I couldn't get to work on Windows 10, 11, or Linux Mint. Was it a driver problem? But you know, you can always use Cube. Tablet Expert Cube has a driver. I've never set it up. It's called Cube TD, KUUUBETD. Tablet driver That's what the TD stands for. But it works with serial devices. Now, again, I've never tried it out with a serial tablet, but it is supposed to good for that. Okay, TBD for the heat. Checking the heat again. It just feels like the desk. It's 100% brightness. Astrongy says, Stream Survey has most people using 1080p main displays. So 2.5K. If you care about how people view your work, is near to their experience, though that is discounting phones. Yeah, to be honest, I've given up on trying to match what people experience because it's impossible to figure out what they're doing. You have people using 4K on their phones, and people reading the new, browsing the internet with a Commodore 64. It's really hard to know what people are doing. Okay, let me take a look at one of my other published reviews. That way, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Canvas 16 Gen 3. Let's see. Where are my notes? Oh, I guess I didn't fully do that. Canvas 13 Gen 3. I'm just looking for a recent review so I can look through tablet. We talked about, pressure scan rate, which here, I'll just do it for you. Let's do the test. There we go. So the question is, will it miss any dots and strokes? The dots are very small. Let me make it a bit bigger. I don't think so. And if I draw like this, I don't think it's missing any strokes. So fine there. We talked about tilt compensation. Oh, parallax. We should talk about parallax. That's a great point. Okay, for this one, I have to get my head close and view it at an angle. Parallax is very good. Parallax is very good. Let me get even closer. Yeah, okay, parallax is good. Not as good as like an iPad, but very good. I don't think anyone will have any problem with parallax here. There's just the slightest bit of separation between the display panel and the tip of the pen. And I believe this is a laminated display, so that will help eliminate. Thank you, Nick. Impressive Pepe art. Yeah, I am incorporating Pepos and Pepes into my stream thumbnails a little more often. Yeah, Charlie, the description never mentioned parallax, but because it is what they call a bonded display, which means laminated, then I think it has slightly less parallax. But to be honest, these days, almost all pen displays have pretty good parallax, right? iPad 16, when? One day. Okay, let's get back to screen. Pointer lag, we talked about it. This is for the Canvas 13 Gen 3. I'm just looking at this for topics. We talked about diagonal wobble. We talked about these things. I'll put the specs when I write up the review. But right now, like, the specs all look good. Like, it seems bright. It's bright. It's not crazy bright, but it's noticeably brighter than a lot of other, like a Huion or XP pen. The anti-glare sparkle is minimal. Pressure scan rate's good. Display sharpness, it's pretty good. Again, macOS renders text a bit blurrier than you would expect, but other than that, it looks fine. We talked about the ports already. 2 USB-C ports, 1 power, 1 for data and video signal, and there's a mini HDMI. We talked about the different ways of connecting. Oh, there is no 3-in-1 cable, just as a reminder. Let's see. A drop test, Aaron? No, I think I'm not going to drop this thing. But I will say, I think this might be now this is in contention to, so okay, let me just back up. You know, I love the Cintiq Pro 22, and I've been using the XP Pen Artist Pro 22 Gen 2, which is a good tablet. I mean, it's like $500, $600. It's a good value. But for a Wacom right now, this is hitting the mark for me, right? It really is. So I'm happy. I will try actually drawing with this a bit more. Nick, your comment is, one thing I can't see, by the way, is eraser assigned on pen buttons. Everyone hates assigning eraser on those buttons. I never assign the eraser to the pen buttons. I always use the keyboard or a toolbox. Charlie tonight says, Mac is the best OS to try. Don't mess with Windows drivers and so on. I like them both. I would say, you know, I think it's a toss-up which works better with drawing tablets. Sometimes Windows gets confused with drawing tablets. Sometimes Mac OS has problems with drawing tablets. I think they're about even in my experience. Okay, let's get back to see if any other topics I want to talk about. VESA, it's VESA mountable. So this is, hang on a second. Let me show you from the side here. The stand is just a normal VESA stand, right? So if you want to put this on like a monitor arm, it'll work. It's, I believe, 75 millimeters by 75 millimeters, the distance between the VESA mounting holes, right? Okay, Aaron, good question. Do you think this would work with a portable battery via Thunderbolt? I guess, I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't. In fact, I don't have like a battery thing like that, but as long as it's providing enough power. Oh, speaking of which, someone did want me to test plugging this into some other USB power source, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that in just a second. So I have here a cable, which is from, if I can find it. Oh, it's plugged into my camera. Okay, I guess I can't do that. I will write it up in my review. I'm gonna use a different USB power source for this, not the power adapter they gave, and see if it works. Okay, Strongy says, is there any deck flex? I mean, you know, not really. I mean, there's just a little bit because you're pushing on the stand and like you can move this thing, but it doesn't bend. Like if you're drawing, it feels completely solid, right? And Nick is commenting on the power. Even if it works, it will drain power bank very fast. I think that's right. These displays do draw a lot of power. Frankly, I gotta tell you, I mean, we've been at 100% for what now, 10, 15 minutes? It's room temperature. And this is definitely something I don't see in Huions and Wacoms. They get slightly warm somewhere, right? So this is a good sign. Wacom has done a good job with its thermals. And man, I don't know how they did it, but this is the way the Cintiq should be, right? Because in the Cintiqs, you know, I end up using them at 50% brightness to avoid the fan noise. But here, I can use it at 100% without any noise whatsoever. T-Dog Weathermax, wasn't also Android ready so you could plug in a battery in your phone? Do you want me to try, T-Dog, do you want me to try an Android S8 Ultra? and see if it works? Give me a second, I'll do it. Okay? Give me a minute. Gray Gunner, yeah, it's still quiet. There are no fans, so it can't make noise, and it's not getting hot. It's still basically room temperature everywhere, consistently. There's no place. I'm not sensing really any heat at all. Okay, I'm gonna go get a Samsung S8 Ultra, and we're gonna see if I can use that with this tablet. So give me 1 second. Okay, I've got a Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, and we're gonna see if this can drive this, okay? So, I'm gonna have to disconnect the MacBook, and so you can see what I'm doing. Not that, there we go, okay. Let me move my water out of the way so it's not gonna spill. Great, okay, so this goes from the tablet. Let's connect and see what happens. Connected to external display, okay. So let's just see if it, I don't want this. Okay, okay, it's responsive. Okay, feels very nice, The rotation for this app, which is Infinite Painter, doesn't rotate it just rotates by 90, so you're not seeing what, look how responsive that is, and there's no sort of choppiness here, okay? So let's get back here. And I know this is gonna be, so the first test is, can I draw with the S Pen on here? Working fine. And finger, now the question is, pressure working? Yeah, pressure's working fine here. Sorry, you can't see all of it. Can you see? It's working great. So I'm very happy with that. Now the next question is, I keep hitting this iPad app icon. Okay, let me clear this drawing here. What did happen there? I'll clear it. Okay. Now I'm going to take the Pro Pen. This is nice. This is really nice, actually. I like how this is working. Oh, I need to turn the visibility on this layer. Hey, it's great. It's great, actually. I am actually impressed that this just kind of works. Ha ha ha! Brad Colville. We've got a superstar in chat. Good to see you, Brad. Good to see you. You have the 16. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, this works good. I'm actually really pleased by this. In two ways. Number one, touch is working great. Like you can see how, actually, sorry, it was working good with the Samsung. It's a little choppier on the Wacom. Not bad, not bad. You probably notice it misses a little bit of my, when I'm doing this pinching, right? Does tilt work, Kirby 260? Before I get to that, is the Ultra, Martin Nizio asks, is the S8 Ultra getting charged to Cintiq? Good question. That's a fantastic question. Let me take a quick look. I don't believe Wacom said that this tablet provides power delivery. So let's take a look. Okay, I'm going to disconnect it. I'm paying attention. Wow, it actually is getting power. The little charge icon is actually lit up when I connect it to this thing. So that's good. That's good. Now the question is, how much is it actually charging, or is it just showing me the charge icon? Give me a second, and let me see if we can find the battery. Where's the settings thing? Settings. Let's see if we can find the battery. I want to see the battery actually change. Battery. It says it's charging. Can you see? Sorry, I think you cannot see it, so let me do it this way. Nope, that's not the right thing. Okay, the way the screen's set up is a bit different, but right here it says battery status charging. So that's good. I'm just looking for a graph. Let's see if there's anything else here for battery. Battery level. Okay, not really showing me what I want. I want to see a graph. It's at 78%. Let's see if it goes up to 79 as I use it. But okay, let's go back to some drawing here. So this is working very well. Someone asked about tilt. Okay, and how can I? Oh, haha. A guy named Seven Pens wrote an online app to test tablets. So we can use the online app to test tablets. It's called the 7 Pens Online Tablet Tester. So right now it's set to use tilt. Loving touch on this, by the way. So up and down is by pressure. And pretty responsive. As I'm moving fast, you'll see a little bit of choppiness. That's normal. Now I'm going to switch, clear this, and then I'm going to use tilt. And I'm sorry if you can't see this. If the line gets thicker and thinner, it's because of tilt, not pressure, okay? So this is normal line. Now watch as I tilt it. So tilt works. Tilt works, Charlie, tonight. Aaron, so a couple people were asking about iPads, and Aaron has a question. Can the 24 Touch run Procreate through an iPad with touch gestures? So I can try it, but the quick answer is it should not. No pen display that I know of works with an iPad. They just don't. But let's get an iPad and test it out. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. I picked up a Chromebook too, so we can try that. Okay, let's get here. Hang on. Let's see. I think the question was Procreate, right? People wanted to see Procreate. Okay. So let me just do a little bit. I'm laughing because I just have I'm deleting a bunch of things I've drawn, and everyone's, what are you deleting? I'm deleting a bunch of Pepes that I drew. I don't know why I'm so embarrassed about it, but I don't want everyone to see my Pepes. Got an angry Pepe. I got too many of these guys. Hey God. And I assure you, it really is Pepe. It's nothing crazy. But I've been meaning to clean this up anyway. But yeah, iPads do not work with pen displays. When they can send a display to them, they can show something, but they'll basically just work like an external monitor. They will not work like a tablet. But we will test it out. Who knows? Maybe something has changed. Let's see. And did the music stop? Oops. Okay, sorry. I just have a lot to delete. As silly as it sounds. Oh, how many did I draw of these things? Okay, at least now it'll be easier for me to keep track of what I actually have here. Okay. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to connect this Thunderbolt 3 cable to this thing. Let's see. And let's see what happens. Nothing's happened. Okay, it's duplicating my screen. Now, does anything happen for real? So let's create a new photo or a new canvas. Okay. S Pen will not work, huh? So let's Pro Pen 2. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. If I draw here on the iPad, you can see I'm drawing strokes, but there's no reaction. This just behaves on an iPad like a monitor. Okay. Yeah, and unfortunately, there's no equivalent to Samsung DeX, right? We don't judge. Who hasn't drawn naked? But none of the Pepes were naked. Let me assure you, none of the Pepes were naked. Okay, how about we try a Chromebook? Okay, I'm just curious if anything is better there. Touch? Oh, good question. No. Let me verify touch is on. Touch is on. Not reactive. Not reactive to touch whatsoever, Charlie, tonight. It's disappointing. You know, it is disappointing because iPads are such great creative devices. I love my iPad, and I actually do prefer them to my Samsung Galaxy Tab S series, but they just don't work the way you'd expect it to. And Apple is not going to change that. In any case, they're too busy adding liquid glass to iOS. Liquid glass. Some people don't like liquid glass. I'm actually okay with it. I just don't know what the effect is going to be on battery life, because it seems like an intense effect. Yeah, Nick, you captured it exactly right. All it can do with these things, the pen displays, is just treat them like a monitor. It doesn't know anything else about them. Touch doesn't even work, right? Okay, now we have Chromebook, and I need to get. Oops, sorry. I just need to connect my earbuds connect correctly again. Every time I step out to get a new piece of equipment, that the earbuds disconnect. Okay. Okay. There, I'm hearing what I should be hearing. Let me disconnect or move away my iPad. We'll move away the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. And what do I want? The Chromebook. Yeah, Chromebook. By the way, I love the Chromebook. I think it is a fantastic, fantastic device. It actually surprises me how good they are. They still don't work with drawing tablets the way I'd like, but that's okay. That is okay. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just set things up here. Okay, so let's get here. And what do I have? Infinite Painter. So I'm going to use the same app on this thing as I did on the Samsung tablet. And I got to connect it down off. Where's the Thunderbolt cable? Okay. One good thing about my Chromebook, which is a HP Dragonfly something, it has 4 USB-C ports. So that is actually quite nice. Okay, there we go. And I'll use concepts this time. How's that? I do like concepts. Now, how do I move this concepts app over? Sorry, I'm just trying to get it moved over. There we go. Well, that was nice. Okay. So, hey, touch is... Okay, something's weird here. Touch is responsive, but notice what's happening. See? There's a misalignment. Now, before we accuse a problem with concepts, this is one of the problems you'll see with Chromebooks. They often don't match the position that's reported by pen display with the correct position of either the hand or, look at this. This is so typical of Chromebooks, at least that I've seen. So, and it's not even, how can I explain this? It's not even that it's not registered correctly. There's like this scaling transformation happening. So, for example, if I draw a circle here, it's that big. But if I draw the same circle physically here, look how much further it is apart, right? It was closer here than here, which means that the displacement is more as I go across, right? So that's another weird problem. Pressure does work, though, and it's very responsive. It's incredibly responsive. It's just that the pressure does not work. So we have understood that Android and Chrome OS are coming together this year later. Not merging exactly. I mean, some people say that it could mean that. It could mean they're just sharing more components. I'm hoping that we saw Android devices work very well with drawing tablets. Chromebooks don't. I'm hoping Chromebooks take on the features from Android. The one thing that Chromebooks do that Android does not do is Chrome OS handles the pen buttons and the tablet buttons, right? So this is not a great experience. Let me try one more app, because it could be concepts that's having a problem. Well, this is very typical for these apps, right? Okay, so let's try this. Now let's change the color so it's obvious. Now this one works correctly. This one actually works really nice. Let's expand the window. Okay, so it's not all apps. It's not all apps. This works really nice, actually. Pressure works good. Gray Gunner, you're right. Concepts at least with scaling the screen, but not the input. But this other app works really good. This is Infinite Painter. So you got to test specific apps because not all respond to it well. I like this. I like this a lot, actually. What about Touch? Touch works really good. It misses a few of my pinches, but overall you can just see how smooth it is. It's tracking my hand movements incredibly well. So this is another option for me because in my streams, I want to sometimes gesture and draw something, and I don't want to fool around with my normal OS that the machine I'm streaming with. So this is good. Lag seems, Subu Art, lag seems unchanged from this other Cintiq Pros I've tried. It's about as good as the rest of the industry, as a matter of fact, right? So this is good. This is really, yeah, so let's say that the issue with concepts was an application problem. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy with this. I wish concepts works because I like using it for, for drawing diagrams, but this is nice. This is nice. Let me try my testing program, which is, what is it? Docs, dot, the 7 pens. And let me find my tablet tester. The reason I use my tablet tester is I know what it does because I wrote the code. Right? Tester. And it's a web app, which the source code is on GitHub, so you can see it easily. Ooh, this is good. I'm moving the pen at a fast clip. It's not quite as smooth. It's not as you'd get with a native sort of Windows or Mac, but it's pretty good, and it's smooth. Pressure works, and does tilt work? Tilt works too. The width of the brush here is due to tilt, not to pressure, so yeah, pretty good, pretty good. So I think this, yeah, again, it just works, depends on the app. It depends on the app. Now, one other thing I noticed with Chrome OS, which is a bit hard to explain, is you see the screen here. Sometimes Chrome OS can forget where the pointer's supposed to be. And where I've seen this may have been fixed. If I make the pointer on the other screen with the mouse, with my trackpad, where's the pointer now? Okay, the pointer comes back to the pen. That's good. It used to be, if the pointer was over here, then drawing with the pen here would move the pointer here. And I'd have to use the mouse to move it back over here. So it looks like either that was a sporadic issue or they fixed it in Chrome OS. Nick asks, what apps can Chrome OS run? Can it run Android stuff? It can, as far as I can tell, it can run all Android stuff, though you may encounter two sets of issues. One of those issues are, as we saw with concepts, this confusion about where the pointer is and mapping coordinates between the application space and I guess the virtual desktop space. The second problem is not all Android apps were designed to work in a windowing system, and some of them, they have trouble understanding they can be maximized to the same extent as a normal Windows app or normal desktop app, though that's gotten better over time, and Chrome OS has gotten better over time. And as they merge at least the capabilities or components of Android and Chrome OS, I expect that to become even better, right? Kay asked a good question. Let me take a sip of water, though, before I answer. So the question is, can it work with a mini PC? I was thinking about buying one instead of a laptop, but I have no idea how the setup should be. I'm glad you asked, because this is one of my favorite topics. Let's go here, and I'm going to tell you about what I've been doing with mini PCs, because this is one of my pet topics lately. So I have been using this mini PC. It's a this is fun. Minus Forum UM870 Slim. Okay, and this costs on Amazon about on Amazon. There's a lot of smoothing on this brush, so don't. It's not the tablet. About $470. There are different versions of it, but the $470 version of it gives you 32 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte SSD. And I think this gives you like an 8-core CPU. Now, I think this really is a great spec for any computer that you want to do some art with, especially 2D art. If you're doing 3D, you probably want a more powerful machine, but this is relatively powerful. Like to get, let's say, a Surface Pro that has 32 gigabytes of RAM is like, I think verging on $3,000. This is $470. I think I've seen it even discounted to like $450, sometimes less on Amazon. So I'd say check this out. I like it so much I have 2 of them. Okay. Now I wouldn't say this Minus Forum UM870 Slim is for gaming. If you need that, for that I use a different computer. But for art, 2D art with Clip Studio and with Krita, and it's worked fine. It's just absolutely worked fine. Let's see. Greg Gunner, appreciate your time. Okay. Hey, thanks for joining us, Greg Gunner. I really appreciate it. Speaking of art, can you make Krita CSP work on Chrome? Because it sounds like it's mostly unusable now. You're talking about work on Chrome OS, Nick? CSP might actually work. Let's check. Give me a second. I gotta get there to the Google Play Store, and let's check for clip. No, sorry, I want Play Store. That's what I want. Yeah, let's go here. Open Google Play. You can't see it, so just be a little patient. I'm just typing in Clip Studio Paint. It's actually installed. Let's see what happens. As everyone knows, I'm a huge fan of Clip Studio Paint. It's doing some material downloads. If this works, I'll be happy. Allow notifications. And I see the music stopped again, so let me get that fixed up. Oh, I see. It stops because when I switch to this view. Got it. Okay. Oh, sorry, you can't see what I see. Let me. So, this is actually useful for people to know. On some operating systems, especially on non-mobile ones, Clip Studio Paint has this doodle mode, so you can play with Clip Studio Paint without paying anything. Okay. Now I have a plan, but I have it on so many computers already. I'm going to use doodle mode. Okay, and all this means is you can't save a file. Okay, but let's continue. Touch works, and it opens up in Clip Studio's whatever you call this. It's like smaller mode. Oops. Okay, so the first problem is it's it's on some tool which is zooming in. Let's see if I can switch brushes or something to the... Works great right now. What about a pen? Pressure works fine. Well, what do you know? I think what this is telling me is, now again, Chrome OS will handle buttons on the pen and the tablet. So what this right now is telling me that Chrome OS is starting to become viable as a OS for drawing right now, with the exception of concepts. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Yes, Eclipse Studio works fine here. That surprises me, actually. Krita, I think, may or may not work. I will test this out in a second. Krita, do I have installed? Okay, let me get that a little bit, Nick. Strongy says, I built a desktop using the Minisforum BD799090i motherboard for gaming. Interesting. For gaming, I actually use a Minisforum HX99G, which has been pretty good for me. I mean, it's not the highest end gaming, but I'm playing, Fallout 4 with it, which is working totally fine. Now this is good. Eclipse Studio Paint's working correctly. I mentioned on the stream last week, I'm thinking about seeing how far I can get by not using, sorry, let me rephrase this. Windows is becoming less exciting in a lot of ways, and I'm thinking, exploring the idea of shifting my operating system to a bunch of mobile devices. And so up until just now, I've been doubtful that Chrome OS would work for me. But with Clip working and with some of these other apps working, I'm starting to believe I can do it, right? Because the great thing about something like my Chromebook here is that it is quite portable, and it's relatively powerful, right? So I'm happy with this right now. I'm happy with this. Okay, let me go check to see my other review, to see if there's any other things we want to talk about. Legs. Does this thing have legs? It's like the ZZ Top song. No one knows what I'm talking about. ZZ Top, legs. Maybe, was it the Cintiq 16 that had legs? Or maybe I'm just confused. But this only supports the stand, which is interesting. Okay, heat, we talked about that. It's been going. Oops, you can't see me touch the tablet. I'm touching the tablet. There's no legs. Let me just make sure everyone sees that. There's just the stand. I'm touching the tablet, and we've been going for what, an hour at 100% brightness? I feel like it's basically room temperature. It's got like just the very slightest increase in heat, but it's not warm. It's basically just like still the temperature of the desk, just not quite as cool as the desk, but it's cool. It's cool. So Wacom has done, in other words, a great job here. That's what I would say. Okay, let's take a look to see if there's any other topics. Audio. I'm going to check to see if this has any audio, like a head check. It does not that I can see anyway. Okay, so no audio features. If I had to compare this to the others, I would say this is, except for the resolution, you're getting a Cintiq Pro. Except for the resolution and the color modes like DCI P3, all that jazz, you're getting a Cintiq Pro level drawing quality. So I think a ton of people will find this a compelling alternative to, well, I don't know why you can't see my face. That's kind of weird. What happened there? That is weird, huh? Let's see let's get back to, there we go. So I think a lot of people are going to find that this tablet is a very compelling alternative for a Cintiq Pro. And I think Huion, XP Pen are going to have to try harder to be competitive again, because now there's something close enough to the price where a lot of people would pay a little bit extra to get this Wacom, right? Am I disappointed with anything? Probably. I'm really only disappointed that I can't use the UD EMR pens with this tablet, which is like the Samsung S Pen and the Wacom CP913923 pen. Other than that, I have really no complaints, and I am extremely happy with the no noise and the temperature, right? That's like extremely well done. I don't get what is that exciting factor. Windows is just the best working environment. It just gets the job done. Well, Nick, I think you're right. I don't want to disagree with that. I think you're right. It does get the job done. I think one of the things that you're sort of hearing when I talk about my desire to explore maybe non-Windows is that maybe it's just not moving forward in a way that I'd like to see, with certain acceleration. Let me give you an example. It's adding a bunch of AI features that aren't really helping me in any way, right? And the battery life of the new Windows machines that are using Snapdragon aren't really that much. They're better, but not mind-blowingly better. So Windows has not hit its, Apple M1 moment, right? So I don't want to, dismiss Windows. I still use it every day, don't get me wrong. But I am curious about how much of a different environment I could get into. And there is cruft in Windows. There is weird things it does, right? Not that Mac OS doesn't have it, or Chrome OS doesn't have it. As with all these things, the apps is what keeps me there. Let's see, Aaron, does anyone ever need those buttons on the Pro? I'm really curious about that myself, Aaron. They're in a weird place for me. I feel like they're very awkward to hold on to and press and use. So I can't speak for the entire audience, but if someone does in the call, in the stream, like those buttons on the Cintiq Pro, say it, because I have not heard many people come out and say, man, I really love those buttons on the Cintiq Pro, right? No one ever mentions them, okay? Nizio/Martin says, could you compare to the XP22 Pro Gen 2? They're very similar. The thing where I think the differences are, so first of all, it is a cooler, okay? The Wacom does manage its heat a little bit better. Number two, the resolution is basically the same, right? So if you're sensitive, if you really need 4K, then neither one of them may be the right one for you. But I think they'll work out for a lot of people. The pen of the Wacom is better and more consistent, but crazy expensive, right? At least it works with older pens, so that's good. But I think what is this costing in $1,500? Let's take a look at the cost of the XP Pen, Artist 22 Plus. Artist Pro 22 Gen 2, I mean. So it's on sale right now. And what is it? Let's $600. Normally $700, but let's just say $600. I think it's been on sale a lot. This tablet in front of me is over twice the cost. And the biggest thing it has is, besides a better pen, it has touch. So if you really don't need touch, a lot of people would probably pick the XP Pen, which is a fine tablet. Remember, I used it. It's one of my, actually, let me show you what I'm talking about so everyone's totally clear. Let me get to my recommendations. So for my large pen display recommendations, take a look at my top picks. Cintiq Pro 22, yeah, of course, it's excellent, $3,000. Artist Pro 22 is my first non-Cintiq or non-Wacom choice after the Cintiq Pro. I would say right now, first of all, I would put this model on this list for my top picks, right? At roughly speaking, this size. And I think I would pick this for the most people. I'd pick it over the Cintiq Pro 22 because you don't need a lot of the things Cintiq Pro 22 offers. Do you really need 120 hertz refresh rate? If you do, then get it. But I don't think a lot of people do need that, even if they like the idea. Hey, T-Dog, I'm glad that we can be of help. That's why we do these streams. All professionals just use keyboards. You're talking for shortcuts, right, Aaron? I use a toolbox, even though you didn't see me use one in this stream. But yeah, the buttons on the Cintiq Pro, again, it's a case where Wacom innovated in doing something in a way that, I think they could have spent their time doing something else. Let's just say that. Okay, let me take a look at any other recent reviews I did. I actually have one for the Artist Pro 22. Gen 2. I just want to make sure I hit all the topics, is really what I'm trying to get at. Display. Lamination, we talked about that here. It is laminated. They call it bonded. Viewing angles. Excellent. I don't see any color shifts. Things are pretty solid here. All this we talked about. I didn't check the color gamuts. You can always just look that up. I'll add it to my review. Anything else here? Sharpness. Let me take a look at the sharpness, actually, now that I have a non-Mac there. Give me a second. Yeah, I think there's pretty good pixel delineation there. You may have heard me say that the Huion Canvas Pro 19 has a little bit of softness. So if this has less than that, pretty much on par with the Cintiq Pro, I would say. Accuracy, we talked about that was good. Parallax, tilt compensation was good. Yeah, okay, so I think the summary is pretty clear. Look, I think Wacom is, not to borrow an American sports analogy, but hit a home run. This is a fantastic product, right? I think a lot of people will pick it, and I have no hesitation recommending it, honestly. Of course, wait for people like Brad and Tio on Tech to review it, because they offer a different perspective on these tablets than I do, right? And because I'm more focused on certain technical aspects. And while I think that's important, I do think that you need to see what. Sorry, I figured this problem. My face is now on there. You need to get some of their feedback, but I think they'll like it, right? I don't know if Brad's still on the stream, but if you are, Brad, just leave a comment. See, Nick says problem with buttons is how much of them you need, or how they are configured in drivers. Got it. For 3D modeling, you just need more. I get it. Is the XG Pen Artist Pro 22 G2 physically bigger? Give me a second. Let's go figure it out. I'll bring it over. Okay, this is the XP Pen 20 Artist Pro 22 Gen 2, and let's see how big it is physically. Probably the easiest way for me to do this is to put them next to each other or on top. Okay, so here's the deal. The XP Pen 20 Pro 22 Gen 2 is very close to the same exact size. Like the size of the glass is almost exactly the same. Probably, I'm seeing is it's just slightly taller than the Wacom, and the Wacom is slightly wider, okay? And that's all because of the bezels are taller on the XP Pen 22, the Artist Pro 22 Gen 2. So, but very close to the same size, right? The XP Pen Artist Pro 24 Gen 2 is on the floor over there. That is definitely bigger than this. That 24 is clearly a bigger tablet, and it feels like it. This feels much more manageable. I think the reduction in bezel size from previous models is evident and welcome. Let me put this down before it falls. Okay. Let's see. The Cintiq is thinner, right? Yeah, I can find that out real quick. I'll just pinch it. Yeah, it is. It is. The Cintiq in front of me it's like this. It's like this thick between my fingers. The Artist Pro 22 is, at its thickest, is like almost twice as thick, right? Toward the edges, it's thinner, about the same, but as you get to the middle, it's thicker. This has the same thickness all the way through, which is just like this, okay? So maybe an inch thick, something like that. Okay, I think we've covered all our major topics. I can take a few more questions if people want, or we can just hang out if people want. But I think everyone's gotten their questions. Okay. Whew, that was quite a stream. This is good. I'll say one as we're ending the stream. Pretty soon we won't need these kind of videos anymore, or the streams. Not on tablets, because all tablets will be great. Lappable? No. I know some people would probably try to do it. I'll put it in my lap right now and let's just see. I mean, surprisingly, it's okay. I'd be scared of it dropping, but it's not as heavy as I expected, so it's not totally bad. But I wouldn't do it. A 16-inch would probably, or 19-inch probably would work much better for being in the lab. And thanks for the comment, Strange. I appreciate you being here and having the questions. Thank you, Aaron. You had a lot of great feedback and questions on the stream. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's not as bad as a fridge, but yeah, it's nerve-wracking more than it is heavy, I'd say. Nizio/Martin, yeah, this is a great move. Like, yeah, I mean, it's more expensive, but my God, it's not $3,000. It's $1,500, and it's a Wacom, and it's pretty good, right? Okay, I think we're good. Everyone, I just want to say again, what an amazing group you are, and we wouldn't be able to have so much fun with these streams without so many of you getting so involved and being curious and getting me to try different versions. Super Art. Is there a 16-inch version soon? There is. It should be before the end of the month or early July. I'm surprised it wasn't out now. The only difference is the 16-inch does not have touch, which is, I wish it did. right? But yeah, there's a 16-inch version coming. I think a lot of people will like that because even though it has the same resolution, it will be a higher DPI or PPI. So it'll appear just more sharper, more high resolution than this, right? Okay, everyone. I think that wraps it up. If anyone wants to continue the conversation, please join the Discord. I just pasted the link in the chat. It's one that I hope, if you're really curious about drawing tablets, listen, that's all we do every day. We talk 24/7 about drawing tablets. I'm pretty sure we're the #1 drawing tablet community in the world at this point. And there's some real experts there, by the way. Okay, everyone, again, thanks for your time. And I'll be streaming live again soon. There's lots of topics coming in lately for drawing tablets, okay? Thanks again. Have a great day or night. I'll see you soon.